and welcome back. So, what happened last time? Well, we saw our glorious party of adventurers return, only to run away scared because a dragon turned up.
Yeah. It was scary.
We didn't run away so much as just kind of turn invisible and hide.
You ran away.
Emlyn and Corey definitely ran away.
I think Halvin did.
In fairness, we ran in the same direction.
We didn't have time to run, the rest of us. We just stood where we were and went invisible.
I think you'll find Halbinet fell over.
Halbinet fell over. The rest of us just stood there.
We just stood there and went, boo?
Shivareth and Thomas did no running.
That is true.
Now you're saying you Tim Allen. That's what you're saying.
That was his...
Good. Right.
I'm not saying freezing is better, but that's what we did.
Anyway, massive red dragon, which isn't a foreshadowing in any way of what's going to happen in the rest of this adventure. At which
Just
point...
ignore the title.
Exactly. At which point...
It could be a black dragon.
2 dragons.
At which point, Lariel Silverhand, the Open Lord of Waterdeep, turned up, teleported into your location to tell you all about what you were going to encounter ahead, and you were told of a hobgoblin legion that had taken over a nearby citadel to Chontea, the halfling god of agriculture. So, yes, Lariel told them all about where they were going to go and what they had to do. Subsequently, Lariel was spoken to by Thomas, I believe, was the sort of arbiter of this discussion about her slightly Machiavellian ways of trying to get everyone to work together, and maybe they were all wise to her tricks, and she then proceeded to try and manipulate all of you again, so, can't teach anyone anything, but you all received a bit more information about each other and a bit more, maybe some backstory reveals that some of you were hoping to keep inside. But yes, some information was uncovered about the party. Anyway, at that point, you all continued down into the Vale under Harvestshield Mountain and discovered that the ground had been turned sulfuric in places, like some kind of, lair of a massive red dragon. Its theming is really strong in this one. But yes, something was clearly amiss, and you discovered some owlbears who you got into a rather large fracas with, which included an owlbear being frozen in a solid sphere of water.
I'm really, really proud of that. Really, really proud of that.
It was good.
With its own feces.
With its own feces.
Importantly.
Yeah, most importantly.
I didn't do that. That wasn't me.
Yes,
So we're clear.
in the water.
I'm adding insult to injury. Anyway, yes, you dealt with the owlbears. Just a reminder, because it was small detail that I want to make sure we're all on the same page about. You did discover that one of the owlbears was branded. It had a goblinoid brand on it that may imply that goblinoids are working with them.
It was an M, wasn't it? It was an orcish M.
It was an orcish M.
Yeah.
Mollier. Maybe.
Or maybe.
That was something that you discovered as part of your defeating of said owlbears. And we will return to the point just after combat, which is where we were at, of all of you sort of taking a breather. I would allow that this is a short rest if you want to count it as a short rest. Post-combat, you are still in this sulfuric swamp. It's still unpleasant here. You're probably getting quite used to it by now. You know not to drink the water. But unless you have stores of water and food, you might start to worry a bit about how you're going to survive. Is there anything you'd like to discuss during your short rest? Or I guess that you'll all be rolling hit dice or something like that?
Your hair looks great.
This is the time when Halbinet sleeps, which, as was revealed last time,
it is an hour.
Short rest. Short.
Nap for an hour.
Nap time.
Yeah, nap time. They have a lot of naps.
Don't sleep.
I know, this is what was revealed to me last time, which is an immensely good point, but I still think, having managed to do an entire quest whilst sleeping very heavily and snoring, I think Halbinet is going to keep doing that.
Fine, no problem. So Hal's asleep for an hour. Yep. Anyone else, or is it just rolling hit dice and moving on?
I've still got temporary hit dice.
Me too. I've still got the kind of inspiring speech stuff.
That should happen.
Oh!
You're going to speak to us and then fall asleep.
Yes.
Give a speech after waking up about the joys of
Wait, I have a
sleep.
proposal. Sleep talking Halbinet, inspiring leader.
just gives pointlessly pompous speeches, even in their sleep. That's
So they make-
Nonsense ones
they
being like,
make-
Then Tarquin walks out of the field.
the honor, the privilege.
When I was a young man. Wait, that monkey's running off with my mace.
Exactly.
Young person. But yes,
Thank you.
I will happily say that Halbernets sleep talk inspiring speeches.
Sweet. That definitely happens.
Thomas will probably make a little bit of a fuss of Shavarath taking as much damage as she did.
I don't know how I took that much damage.
You walked
You
away
took
from
some.
5 owl bears.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that'll be
I
it.
walked away.
The most badass move a wizard could make.
Yes.
but I'm not even worried about it. Like,
Hit me.
Anyway, you all have, I believe, 9 temporary hit points, Ed, correct me if I'm wrong?
I'm just looking.
No, you're
You
higher
9.
level than
Where is it? If it went on
9.
before.
A new 9.
Oh, where's it gone? Sorry,
I don't know.
it's
that. Under your feet. It's the bottom of your fidgets and trays.
Under your feet, below your bottom.
9 it is.
9!
9.
I think I'll just turn to Thomas and be like, I don't know why I thought walking away was a good idea. I think next time I'll just stay. But
You're right though. I'm sorry. I couldn't jump in the way. I
feel-
literally just jumped in front of
no,
Helm
I know. I feel better now. A bit of a rest.
All
I
right.
thought everyone fought very well.
You still
I
asleep?
thought you were asleep.
Sleep talking, this is what I do.
They
They
say, they say inspiring things like that in their sleep.
Yes, that's what
Apparently.
happens.
Thanks, Alvanet.
Alvanet is totally the kind of elf that sleeps when they meditate.
Meditation sleep.
Anyway, you all regain your HP if you roll for your hit dice, which is just bandaging each other up. That's totally fine. And you get your temporary hit points from Hal. What happens next? You are still in this sulfuric swamp. As you can see, it appears to be pretty pervasive in this area. You know that Harvestshield Mountain is ahead of you, but otherwise you've made concrete plans to find Juntea Citadel. But beyond that, how much more?
I guess
Mhm.
march on. Oh, sorry, Cory.
I think Corey.
Wonder. Go on, wonder.
Yeah, this is partly Anna logic and partly Corey logic, which is that if it rains, will the sulfur swamp become easier to navigate? Now,
No.
I don't have a spell that makes it rain, but I do have the wand of wonder.
do it.
If you
It's not like a
Apply-
1 in 50 chance that it comes up.
If you apply water to a swamp, it just gets swampier.
But
This-
sulfur.
Yeah, which will just be spread over a wider distance.
It doesn't sound like a good idea, but I'm here for it. Do it.
The real question is,
I think-
if that's something that is in Corey's mind, is there anyone out of this group that would know to stop her?
No.
Okay, so I would turn to Hal and just be like, so, remember when I made it rain?
There's no reason not to make it rain.
Wait, can I roll at some sort of intelligence-based roll about the rain?
Can somebody be intelligent here? Is that what you're
It's
asking?
going to tell me it's nature again, isn't it?
Yep.
After saying I shouldn't take nature because you're a monster.
Correct.
I've rolled.
How many players have you done this to, Chris?
Oh, so
All of
Definitely-
them.
Definitely don't take that.
It's all right, Niall.
Legend lore would have been useful,
I get-
wouldn't it?
I get my own back. It's an 11.
Raining in a swamp will just make the swamp swampier. Sulfur swamps, presumably that'll just spread the sulfur further because water doesn't stay in one place, it moves around.
I feel like that will just make the puddles of sulfur higher and harder to avoid.
Right.
Do you have anything that would freeze the sulfur? Because that would
I mean,
must have a freezing point.
That is true.
if I... Hold on. I don't think I've got anything that's freezing, and I've used my sorcery points, so I can't change anything to make it freezing.
You've used all your sorcery points.
Yeah, I had... Hold on. Oh, no, I used my 2 that are only to be used on meta magic. Well done.
You definitely figured it out, Anna.
Nailed it.
I've got...
You're nicking the job again.
It's still Niall's job.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, I'm smiling, but I'm really angry.
Okay.
To be fair,
Um,
Anna did make that noise in the last season before.
That is true.
So.
That is true. But it's this
Can we get to
episode.
the meat of the adventure? I'm just saying, like.
Look, we are going to fight about this whole noise until.
okay. I actually.
So much editing. Okay, good.
I don't think I've got anything at that. The closest thing I have that could help would possibly be Maximilian's earthen grasp, but it would
Pick up
be
the sulfuric water.
Yes.
Make a bird bath.
so that the floor is ice, and then there's a fist, and it's a whole, thing. And I thought that probably wouldn't help. So unless I do the wand of wonder and see what happens, then Corey is just going to be like, let's just keep walking.
And I'm never going to dissuade you from using the Wand of Wonder. I'm just going to point out that currently you're having a short rest after a combat, and we haven't even got to the main meat of the episode yet. So
I thought we finished the short rest.
we're finishing it.
We could just walk.
Yes.
Let's just
That would
walk.
be.
I believe I noticed the big puddles in the last episode.
You did indeed
Ooh.
notice the big puddles in the last episode, and I will say that you can all, with a decent survival roll, avoid any serious problems. So,
Define decent.
who wants to make
yeah.
the decent survival roll?
Oh, wow.
I think
Where did that
Hal
come
had
from?
like a really good survival roll.
Because
Yeah.
you're a cleric.
Oh, yeah, fair point.
13.
21.
Oh, 21.
Wait, do we all need to do one, or we just?
Oh, yeah.
No,
right
no,
now?
you do.
Okay, fine.
Sorry, Niall, did you roll as well?
I did. It was just another 13.
Hey.
Unlucky for some.
Well then, 21, Hal Bennett. You can help the others traverse this swamp. You help them avoid bottlenecking, you help them avoid areas where the water does start to get thicker, and it does start to get a bit more waterlogged as you head into the Vale. Now, did we establish that you travelled to the Citadel of Chantea before?
No.
None of
It's
you
that
have.
I knew of it, but I didn't.
Knew of it.
Yes.
Okay, the Vale that it's in, you rolled a 21. I think it's only fair to help you with a lot of this. The Vale that it's in would have a very decent and fast-flowing flivver.
Fascinating.
A fast-flowing river in it, because said river would be a good way to irrigate a lot of crops very quickly. Ergo, you can only assume that some of this water has become backlogged in places, or that something has blocked it in places, because there are points now where you have to wade through, in most of your cases, knee-high water. In Thomas's case, chin-high water. In Corey's case, also chin-high water, I would say, yes. But it's sulfuric.
Well,
What?
I was going to say, with either permission, somebody can go on my shoulders.
Just to be clear, sulfuric water isn't like bubbling goo. It's just hot. It's water with a very mineral quality to it that does smell like rotten eggs.
That's what
Smells like egg.
I thought it was like yellow and burning water. I didn't realise it was just...
No.
Right, okay. Well, that whole conversation was pointless. Sorry, everyone.
It's still bad for you. You shouldn't walk in it that often.
It's actually quite good for you, apparently. Anyway.
Don't
No,
do it
My,
every day.
my local town was made famous off of the sulfuric water and its good qualities and
Which
healing
was
powers.
purified before anyone did anything with it. Otherwise, they were just getting sulfur in their bloodstream, which is bad.
That is true.
I think Corrie will brave it through the chin-high sulfur as far as she can until somebody spots it like, you all right, mate?
Indeed. Albert will go, are you all right, mate?
I'm a bit short.
Would you? I can offer my shoulders.
Are you sure?
Yes, absolutely. You are but a slip of a thing.
And then Corrie just lifts her arms. It's like,
Yes, exactly. Please tell me there isn't a roll for this because it's going to go so badly wrong.
Well, now there is.
Oh no.
to lift Corrie up and put her on your shoulders.
Yes. Animal handling, strength. What are we doing?
Handling? She's not an animal.
No, I mean, as in, what's the roll for? Not for the-
Athletics.
Fine.
Good Lord.
They're all animals.
Oh my god, that was close. Sorry, that rolled over a 2. It is in fact a 19.
Oh, fine. You lift Corey up onto your shoulders. There is no issue.
Hooray. Thank goodness.
and Corrie kind of is like trying to hide the fact that she feels quite like nice being so tall.
Hooray!
As Corey stands on your shoulders, the faint sort of squelch as you are sat down on Hal's shoulders because you're waterlogged clothes.
It's fine. I've had worse things around my neck.
I want to ask, but I also don't want to ask.
Dead
But now
fool.
I feel like I should ask because you said it. Should I ask or should I not ask?
I think it will be fine if you don't.
Okay.
Thomas, you are sort of
I'm just
bracing.
going to turn to Thomas and be like, but now I really want to know.
Yeah, there's part of me that does, but there's part of me that really doesn't.
Okay, I won't ask. I'm really sorry. I should have prepared fly. I should have learnt fly.
That's okay. We'll be fine. It's not far, right, Halbernet?
No, we should be there in moments, I think. Is that true? I've no idea.
You're
They
starting.
said, like a liar.
You're starting to break through the tree line. Trees are becoming a bit more sparse. They were already becoming more sparse because, well, trees die in sulfur swamps, but this appears to be relatively recent, so quite a few of them are still withering. But you're making your way out of the tree line, and as you do in front of you, you can all see following. The valley ahead of you, the sides are relatively, what's the opposite of steep?
Shallow?
Hello.
Shallow, thank you. Quite a shallow, wide valley, and you can see that a lot of it would be fields of corn, wheat, that sort of thing, but they've obviously been left fallow, and the river has burst its banks that was running through the centre of this space, and the whole area is slightly waterlogged. Not fully, like, submerged in places, but you are coming up the valley at the moment, so the water is deeper where you are. Farmhouses that were clearly on the side of the river with large windmills and similar constructs around them to grind grain and that sort of thing are there, but look in serious states of disrepair. The whole place has a very sort of post-apocalyptic look to it, bizarrely. Looking up the valley, the river does still wind where it hasn't burst its banks entirely and makes its way up into hills and mountains further towards the back, and you can see that there's a quite large mountain with the top of it obscured in clouds, not too far away, like in geographical terms. Like, we're talking 20 miles, but
See?
not too far.
Just over there.
Great.
It looks terrifying. Like, post-apocalyptic is the word I would use to describe it, because it is a civilization that has vanished. It looks like a full farmstead, multiple large farms, probably needed a lot of people to till the fields, all disrepair, broken, gone. It's a mess.
From what you're describing, though, this has, as in, it's not been like this for a long time. The shock is still there. The scar is still raw, if you see what I mean.
Your survival was a 21, so I will give you this. Looking at the state of the farmhouses themselves and this whole area, you imagine it's been abandoned for a couple of years.
Oh, wow. Okay, right.
Is there any evidence as to why?
Well, the
Apart
water
from the
around you
dragon?
smells of rotten eggs.
So it's clearly the dragon. There's not like it abandoned and then the dragon made its home here. It looks
Oh,
like the dragon
nice.
attacked and then they left, or they left and then the dragon came.
Roll me a perception check. You can roll nature
The
if you like.
investigation, please.
You
You made me
Investigation's
not
close.
take nature. I was going to take nature. Let me roll investigation,
Roll
or
investigation
I will
check
throw
for
a
me.
dice at you.
Roll an investigation. Put
If it was something that-
Now the mug makes a lot more sense.
I rolled 17, and it was not me who threw a mug.
It's
at
not
this.
Emma who threw the mug, no. So, this time. So the...
I've never thrown a
You've
mug.
never thrown a
at
mug
you.
at me. You've thrown dice at me, though.
That's fair enough.
Only plastic ones.
That's
Exactly.
You used the catapult, didn't you? So the...
Yes, it's fun.
what was your investigation? 17.
17.
Thank you. Putting pieces together, there are no obvious signs of a battle. There's no, like, field of corpses. There's no, like, buildings that have been broken by, say, attack from Dragon Claw or big, like, burning swathes where breath happened. Nothing like that or any shape. It just looks like things slowly started to go wrong. You'd have to investigate in more detail and closer up to get more than that, but it doesn't look like it was attacked.
Is this the kind of thing that, given that this is a few days walk from Waterdeep, granted, but it's still like the closest mountain, right?
A bit longer than a few days from Waterdeep now. We're talking probably nigh on a week.
Okay. But is it not close enough that it'd be the kind of thing where we might have heard a few years ago if we had any refugees come to Waterdeep from it.
You didn't have any sort of refugees came to this from Waterdeep from this. You didn't hear anything of the sort from this. If anything, the fact that it's the way it is a bit of a mystery, because there'd be quite a lot of people here who didn't seem to go anywhere.
Are there skeletons?
Yeah.
At this kind of range, because we're still talking like 20 miles to a mountain and looking up a valley, like with 20 miles of looking up a valley, you can't see like, oh look, there's a skeleton. Like, and also there's water-logged areas and swampy areas.
But there aren't like
valley.
bones that have been washed down this way. There aren't like remains around us.
You want to investigate check 17? I'll give you this. Looking in the water, you don't see like piles of corpses, but you would see like a solitary skeleton that looks humanoid. Looking a bit further along, you see a skeleton that looks a bit like a deer.
Yeah.
Like,
Interesting.
it's not like there are corpses everywhere. More like, sure, there's some dead people here around.
And then they've not been looked. There's no burial or anything. So yeah.
I haven't seen anything like that. No.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll have to go a bit closer to find out what happened exactly, but it doesn't look from here like it was attacked by a dragon and that's why they left. Like, none of the buildings had burnt down.
No. I don't.
Have perception checks from people? I don't think we did we?
Nope.
Wait, welcome to roll or use your passive. I don't mind.
I will roll.
Oh, that's a natural 20 plus a 11, I think. Let me just double check.
Plus 11?
No, plus a 9.
Nice.
29.
Impressive.
Nice.
Natural 22, 29.
I'm
Nailed.
excited about
11.
19.
16 for me.
Norman sees this first, but you all of you.
Do I
rolled
see
above
the
10.
skeletons?
All of you rolled over 10 see this. No. Looking out over this, you're looking sort of up this vale. You are looking, because the water's thicker down here. Looking up the vale, you do see what looks like a group of figures. You're too far away to get any kind of recognition. It looks like there's a group of figures moving across part of this area. There's probably about 10, maybe 15 of them, but from this distance you can't draw much detail from them.
How far away and how many?
Maybe 10 to 15, it's hard to see at this range, and we're talking at least 5 miles.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Are
fine.
we still in the water at this point?
You are still in the water, you are walking up the vale, so you're going to be walking out of the water soon enough, but it is a very shallow vale, so there will be waterlogged and water issues throughout.
Difficult terrain, one might say.
One might indeed call it difficult terrain.
My stealth is going to come in.
Yeah, about 5 miles that way is like
Right. Yeah.
10, 15 people walking around.
What?
I say we go talk to them.
They appear to be a cohesive unit and all moving in the same direction, which is perpendicular to you.
We definitely
Right.
think that there are going to be people who are going to want to talk to us, or do we think they're going to be part of the horde?
I don't think
are-
that. Well, we haven't met anyone thus far who's been keen to talk to us.
Either way, either they talk to us or we kill them and then I talk to one of them once they're dead.
Oh.
And in fairness,
Do we have to do
owlbears
that?
don't really talk
No,
to
no.
people.
No, we don't have to do that. But
Hmm.
if that is the only way that we can get answers from them,
Oh, I see. Yes, no, I see what you mean.
but I suggest that first we try and talk to them. But if
That-
we have to...
I'm keen to talk.
If they insist on fighting us and we end up
Right.
having to kill them to
Very true.
survive,
Understood. Yeah.
I don't see any reason why I can't talk to them once they're dead. Thomas, you look horrified. I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong?
Oh, no. My vote continues to be. I prefer to talk to people when they're alive.
And,
Where possible.
I think that's the case for all of us. But as you say, if the worst comes to what, that was an amazing noise. If the worst comes to the worst, then I let us perform what we need to.
I'm not saying we should just go in and murder them, so
No.
because then we can talk to them. I'm saying, like, if they insist on murdering us,
Which they won't.
we can still talk to them
Fine.
afterwards.
Are you walking up the vale?
Yes.
Would that be...
I'm doing whatever Hal Bennett dictates.
Before we do,
You
may I suggest that I'm not the best at talking my way out of situation. What I'm really good at is the second part of this if this goes wrong. So why don't I scout ahead, hide, whilst you guys distract them. If anything
Okay.
seems to be going wrong, I'll take out the big one. And then, we can all jump into the, I don't know, let's call it a fracas, because I really like that word.
It sounds like caca. I like it. I mean, Corey's really good at talking to people, so Corey can probably like.
I agree.
Corey looks stunned at the proposal. Nobody's ever said this about her before.
Yes, you have a winning charm, I think.
Okay.
Are you stealthily walking up the Vale, or are you just walking up the Vale?
I'll be stealthily walking.
Halbert can try. It's never been a particular thing.
You are out in the open. It is not particularly easy to stealth your way here. I'm just saying, if you want to be stealthy, that's fine. We have to talk about how you're being stealthy if that's what you want to do.
I think Halbert is taking up the lead, and therefore doesn't. Unless
Corey's taking up the lead, things Corey's on your shoulders.
that is true. This is the way we need to introduce this group. Yes, onward. But
Okay.
and unless someone says to them, "Be stealthy," I don't think it will be.
Cool. So Halbert is sorry.
No, it's just a question. Are we trying to catch them further into the settlement?
No, we're just trying to intercept them, aren't we? Like maybe if we're not stealthy, it'll give you a better chance to know them because we'll distract from you. Like
Exactly.
There's no settlement. There's no sort of town.
It's farmland though, isn't it?
It's farmland. There's sort of big farmhouses. I'd say about one every.
Barns.
Taking up a couple of acres of space, barns, some kind of large farmhouse, but it's not populous. Even if this were full of people, they wouldn't live here.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Sorry, my brain has just gone. This going to intercept them would still be en route to Shantae's Citadel, right? Or is that taking it? Okay.
Yeah. Heading up the Vale.
Going that way. Let's go down the hill.
You've got to head up the Vale to get to Shantae's Citadel, even if you knew where it was, which you don't.
I was going to say, if we interact with them, then it's kind of up to them at this point. If we keep going in the direction that Halbernet's going.
Yeah.
So Halbernet is striding off with Curry on shoulders. I mean, the water starts to recede a bit, but you can stay there if you want, Curry. Towards this group of people. They're 5 miles away. It's going to take you a bit.
yeah, I'm gonna follow.
Right.
Same. Although as the water kind of recedes a little bit, Thomas is going to say to Shivarth, I know it's going to still continue to be damp further along, but if it does come to conflict, I don't suppose you've still got that spell where you can make us dry again.
Yeah, no, I can do it right now. Like I'll drive Thomas. I'll drive Corey as well because you're probably still squelchy.
You will still remain somewhat squelchy because you are travelling through swamp,
but like
that was once farmland.
This was like whole body squelch. Now it's just like leg squelch.
Yeah.
As you travel forward, striding on, like openly to meet these people, Norman, roll me the stealth check.
Okay. That is a 26.
Good God.
Bang.
Very impressive.
As you make your way through this land, you start to realise that sulphur swamps is one thing. Rotting wheat grain, rotting food grass that has been untilled for years and thus overgrown. This whole valley is fecund. The smell is ripe. The sulfuric water is intermixing with disease.
What?
No. It's the combined smell is pretty overpowering.
Better or worse than the zombie pond?
Oh, nice.
Pretty similar, comparable in fact.
Interesting.
Have I still got my little iron stone that Shvaris gave me though?
Oh.
Sure, I presume so.
I would have to. I can do a few things at once. I can have multiple effects. I can have three prestidigitation effects up. So
that means 2 cleaning and me smelling. Thank you.
Lovely.
It's also heavy going. There are times where you will suddenly realise that there is a large pond in front of you that wasn't there 30 seconds ago because it was completely plant logged. You didn't know it was there until you stepped into it. There's going to be a couple of sort of shuffle steps and, oh God, trying to make your way around this space. It is tough going. By about 2.5 hours in to walking, sorry, that's what I mean, 2.5 miles. By 2.5 miles walking towards this group, they are now moving towards one of these farmsteads. It's heavy going. It is difficult terrain, as said. Obviously, you all to roll me a con saving throw.
Ah.
No.
I'm gonna throw up again, aren't I? Oh.
Bending.
Oh no.
Oh, Lord.
Oh dear.
Oh, no, that's as bad as I thought.
Would you say this was a poison saving throw?
No, I would not.
Well, then a 7.
I roll bad.
I roll bad. You are all starting to feel exhausted.
16.
Wait, I didn't roll mine.
16, you're not starting to feel exhausted.
Good.
12.
12, you are starting to feel exhausted.
Hold on, con saving.
Yeah.
Mhm.
6.
That's an 8.
Yeah, 6, 7, and 8. You're all, the 4 of you, everyone apart from Hal, is starting to feel exhausted by this. This process, this whole area is just clearly awful. Who's got the highest passive perception?
17.
19 for you, Neomlin.
19 for me, yeah.
Well
Neomlin.
done. Well done.
Neomlin, you and Halbernet both notice as you're travelling through this space. Neomlin, you'll notice from the sort of stealthiness, as Hal you'll notice by looking around. You do see more corpses. They don't tend to be bone. They tend to be soaked up and waterlogged.
My passive investigation is 21, if that helps.
Wow.
For a second, yeah. They appear to be waterlogged and sort of bloated carcasses. Some have burst. It's not just humans, it's humans and cows and farming animals and that sort of thing. They're scattered all over the place. Shivareth, as you walk past them, you do note that some of them look like they've been freshly attacked. Like there are fresh wounds on them.
Okay, I'm going to have a problem with these people.
You don't know that.
As in, they're newly dead?
No, like these corpses were attacked. You may draw...
Someone attacked the corpses?
Yes, you may draw your own conclusions.
What?
With
Maybe
what?
they were also zombies.
Yeah, zombie cows? That's terrifying.
What did someone attack the
So-
corpses with? Was it...
Mostly, it looks like mostly slashing, piercing, bludgeoning weapons. The occasional spell effect damage.
I'm not sure who's roaming around here, but they're attacking corpses, and that's not good.
No,
Or,
deeply unpleasant.
counter proposal, the corpses are attacking people and they're just defending themselves.
I mean,
That's not good
does
either.
anyone have a way to tell if they're undead?
Ooh, I should do.
Speak to him.
If they're undead, they're no longer undead. They're just dead.
could we? Have I got a?
You've got a very high passive investigation, Shivareth. I'd allow an investigation check on one of the bodies.
Do you want me to roll one?
Yeah, I think so.
What does this? What are you going to?
Investigating whether it was undead.
Yeah, but I mean,
No, understood. But how much would this be a thing that Halbernet might mind about?
Oh, I see. It's not going to be reaching in.
Okay, there just might be a bit of a. Oh,
Yeah, it's
well
grim.
done.
It is definitely grim.
Keep going.
rolling is not going well for me today. I rolled a 14.
Still pretty good.
I rolled a 3.
Wow.
Looking at some of these bodies around here, you can tell that they were clearly animate. Like they were clearly moving after death because they have joints twisted and bones broken in ways they couldn't have done if they'd just died and fallen down.
Yeah, no, Corey's right. Definitely undead.
Great. That's just
Cool.
what I wanted to hear.
Cool.
Right.
Well,
Do you-
we've dealt with that before, so
Yes.
Just a reminder that exhaustion means you will have disadvantage on ability checks, so you need to roll ability checks at disadvantage if you're asked to make rolls. I'll let the last ones carry, but
I
just
mean,
future
it was a 3. It can't get worse.
Just saying.
I rolled an actual 1.
I'm not going to make it carry now because it's after the fact, but just as a reminder, any further checks that
You
everyone
just
apart
said
from that makes.
The hubris.
Yes. Awful. The one.
Sorry, what are we rolling again?
No, not rolling anything.
Not rolling
It's
anything, just a
in
reminder
future.
that you and everyone here, apart from Hal, has disadvantage on ability checks because you're all exhausted.
I think it might be undead, but then again, maybe I just don't know.
No, I think you're right.
I don't
think you're
know
right.
anymore.
Are you continuing to walk towards this, what looks like farmhouse barn combo that this group have headed towards and you can no longer see?
Are we gonna get exhausted walking over there? Is there a risk that we're going to take another level of exhaustion walking
You are
over there?
halfway there and you feel pretty exhausted.
I think if It looks as though everyone's a bit fagged out, and it is a bit.
Yes, Anna?
Can we tell how they were walking? Are they
Guilty
walking?
gate.
No. Are they? Do they walk like they are natural living beings?
Oh, right.
Or
I
do they
see.
walk a bit jolty and a bit like they might have been dead at some point?
I will give a final perception check. You can all give each other advantage, so it's a flat roll for someone to look at this group that you are following as they head into
how
this.
It's not exhausted.
Yeah.
Hal can make the roll with advantage if we want. If someone gives assistance, then that's fine.
Sweet.
I will assist because I'm on their shoulders.
Correct.
Yes, perfect.
Look over there.
Okay, that was lucky, I think. Yes, good. 23, in fact.
These figures don't appear to be undead. They're moving like living creatures. They appear to have gained some level of understanding of this space, moving through it quite quickly. Hal, you have gotten closer to them as they were traveling perpendicular to you. The more you try and gauge them over this distance, you think they're probably not. They look like they might be goblinoid of some kind. There's a lanky look to the walk. Bugbears in particular have a sort of rolling shoulder, and goblins are quite small. So you think they're probably goblinoid.
I think we're coming up against some goblinoids. This is going to be interesting. Has anyone seen anything of Nermlin?
No.
I don't think anybody's ever seen anything. of
That's
him.
good. That's very good.
We're still nowhere near, so
You're halfway
this
to
point-
where they were heading to. There
Right.
are other farmhouses you could step into on the way if you wanted to take a breather. Exhaustion requires a long rest to be removed.
No way.
So yeah, each level.
Oh, wow.
If you take 2 levels exhausted, that's too
Exhaustion is
long.
bad.
Let's pause then. I
I
think
feel like we can't take a long rest without Nerman.
true, but I
well,
think
my point was going to be that they don't seem to have noticed us yet, and we're still far enough away that hopefully Naomlin, wherever she is, can see us, that if we do some kind of signal,
Should we
just come
all
back.
do a
Corey
do a dance?
does this.
No, we agreed upon the signal. The signal was
awesome.
Right.
How do we write team blah, blah, blah in chat?
Yes. Wow.
Well, I will leave that up to chat to work out.
BLOBL.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no, that does work.
That sounds like team blobby blob. Good.
But yes, I think.
Sorry, I'm now making.
Can Shivara still do the magical hut?
I can make
'Cause
a
I-
magical hut, but it would require us to be on a stable surface. It doesn't
In the
require us
forest?
to be on a stable surface, but I'm not sleeping in a swamp.
No, I completely understood.
There are other farmhouses dotted. You could easily
Yeah.
stop off in one
Yeah,
on the way.
there's a barn.
I could
Escape.
try pointing in various directions to see if I can message Nermlin.
Oh no,
If you
with
wish.
the Nerman does sort of pop up next.
Has she heard our entire conversation?
Appears out of some like dead plants. Pops up.
Cool.
Sounds accurate. I was here the whole time. I was literally listening to you guys have this whole discussion.
The other
Good.
thing we could do, right, because we want to attract those people to us, right? We want to talk to them. Why don't we make a fire, be
come to
really
us.
obvious, and let them come to us?
Are we still going to be in the hut?
They
I mean,
won't see it's a hut, and
We can make the fire outside the hut.
We can make the fire outside the hut, but then if we have people on watch, yes, Corey. Sorry, yes, Corey.
Wonder at the sky.
What?
If we're trying to attract attention, can I point the wand of wonder at the
Wait,
sky?
Sure.
Oh wait, they're 5 miles away. We've got some time.
2.5 miles away. You're halfway there.
Wait, should we make the hut first?
Yes,
we get
Yes.
because
to,
it's going to
uh,
take 10
shelter.
minutes.
Not a safe space.
We could do the flare at the end. I think that's good.
Do you want to head
Mixing
to a
a
nearby
cocktail.
farm, barn?
Yeah.
For barn.
a barn.
I mean, most of the farms around here are like if you head slightly off to one side, all 5 of you will arrive at what is clearly the remains of a farm. There is a fence that clearly went around.